John, John preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ, to do the will of God. That's why we were born, and that's why we woke up today. That's why we know and we live with a sense of confidence, because now we know. We're not wanderously. We're not wandering aimlessly, trying to find out. We understand the goal, the purpose. We understand why we're alive, what we're here for. And now we get to know that it's in here. It's contained in His Word. We can find all the answers in God, as we remain in the Lord and continue in the Lord. And so this is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 38. To drive out nations from before you, greater and mightier than you are, to bring you in, to give you their land for an inheritance, as it is this day. So we do have an inheritance. God is giving us land. God is giving us the promised land, the land of milk and honey, a good promise, a good land to live in, a future. We have a future in God. We have a place, a good place to look forward to. And yeah, He's going to drive out nations from before us, mightier and greater than we are. So it's impossible. It's impossible by our own strength without God to get it, to get there. And that is what man is looking for, striving for, trying to get. And with all the jobs, with all the money, with all the family, with everything that man does in life to get this good thing. But we see that it's by the word of God only, by the promise of God, because there's mighty people that live there, greater and mightier than us. And man is trying to, you got the, it was mandatory reading in middle school, Ulysses or the Odyssey. It's the same book, but two different versions of it. It's about this guy who wants to rail against the gods, who wants to fight the gods. And it's supposed to indicate that he prevails over them. He wins, defying the gods. A man likes that story. But the truth is, when you apply it, you don't succeed, right? You're not going to win if you don't rely on the true and living God, if you don't find the one God that is for you. In that story in Ulysses, he doesn't find any God that is for him. They're all against him. All these titans and giants and cyclops, and he's fighting. But that's the case with man. We've got great things that we're fighting against, great entities, beings that are against us, that will not let us pass, let us in to see the good land, to see goodness, to taste goodness. We live under the curse. We live in strife. The ground won't produce. We sweat and we toil and we get just a little bit of food. Right? And we try to invent all these technologies and inventions to make things better, but we see we're only more oppressed. And so only those who find God, who live by the word of God, God is a spirit. They that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So you seek after him with a sincere heart and you will find him. He will reveal himself to you. He will reveal things to you, secrets to you. He will reveal the things that are revealed are for you and your children. God hides the things you need to know, things you need to eat, things you need to have. Is hidden. You cannot find them. You cannot find them without God revealing it to you. You need to be a king. You need to be a king for him to reveal these things to you. A son of God. And you won't know the way, find the way, if you don't find God, if you're not after him. You'll find some other path that goes somewhere else. So we see God here giving them a land, giving them driving out nations, and giving them an inheritance. It's their inheritance as sons of God. Know therefore this day, and consider it in your heart, that the Lord, he is God in heaven above, and upon the earth beneath there is none else. You shall keep therefore his statutes and his commandments, which I command you this day, that it may go well with you, and with your children after you, and that you may prolong your days upon the earth, which the Lord your God gives you forever. Then Moses severed 3 cities on this side Jordan toward the sun rising, that the slayer might flee thither, which should kill his neighbor unawares, and hated him not in times past, that fleeing unto one of these cities he might live, namely Bezer in the wilderness, in the plain country and of the Reubenites, and Ramoth in Gilead of the Gadites, and Golan in Bashan of the Manassites. So these are the names of the cities that people were able to flee to if they killed someone accidentally. They need a place of refuge, or else someone might come to kill them to get revenge. But it was an accident. Yeah, but they might kill you anyway. So where are you going to go? You need to be protected. That's in these refuge cities. And so that's an image of Christ. Christ is our refuge. Where are you going to go? The devil accuses you. We have Satan, the opposer, the accuser, who's going to accuse the brethren. And if you don't have that refuge city, then yeah, the revenger of blood is going to come to kill you, find you, and kill you, unless you're in the refuge city and protected. And so Jesus is that refuge city for us, where we can run to him and be protected. And the law here was that you get to stay until the death of the priest. And we know that Jesus lives forever. So we have that guarantee, that security. We can rest in Jesus. We know that he does not die. And so we'll forever have that security. We'll forever have that rest, that peace, to know we don't have to die. We don't have to look forward to dying. We don't have to be scared of dying. No, we live in Jesus. We have a refuge. We have peace and safety that's available for the sons of God. For the Christians, we can run to Jesus. We know where to run. We know where to go. We can run to him. The unbelievers in the world, they run in circles. They don't know where to go. They fight to defend themselves. They feel scared. They're fighting for their lives. That's where you see the desperation and the aggression, because they don't have a refuge. They don't have a covering. They don't have safety. They have no hope, no assurance of life. Right? No. Yeah, they live. Even if you live in a house, it feels like you're homeless, right? Even if you have a relationship, you feel lonely. No matter what you have, you eat food and you feel hungry. You drink water and you're still thirsty. And Jesus said, you need this living water. You need this living water. This is the need that you have, that you don't know that you have. So, yeah, we're like babes, right? We don't know things. We don't know things. We need our Father in heaven to teach us things, to guide us into all wisdom, to help us to grow in wisdom. To see as God sees is to see, period, right? To see right. Without God, we know nothing. We know nothing. We don't know what we're looking at. We don't know what life is. We don't know what is in our hands. We don't know the life that we have, the identity that we have. And yet, look how we struggle trying. Right? So, see, babies, infants, children, when they try to do things, right? Your hands aren't big enough to grab that axe. You can't even lift it off the ground. It's hopeless, right? You can't do any work. You can't do it. And yet that's what man is trying to do. If you try to live without God, you don't have the power to be right, to do good, to see truth, to understand anything. And yet we try. As children, right? You try to go out into the world and conduct business, maybe get a place for yourself. You're like 9 years old, and no one's going to respect you. Oh, little kid, where's your parents? Hey, give me the job. Right? No, you're too young. You can't do this job. Right? You want to be the person that gets the shopping carts, brings it back in. I could do the job. They're taller than you. The shopping carts are taller than you. You can't do the job. You're too young. You can't do it. I can get a job. I can find a place of my own. I can do life. No, you're too young. You're too small. And that's what man is facing in the world. The world is too big. The curses are too big. The demons are too big. You need God. You need God who will drive out nations greater and mightier than you and give you an inheritance and raise you up, gives you the right level of stature and gives you a name, gives you an identity. Only with God, all things are possible. Without God, you live an impossible life. And this is the law which Moses set before the children of Israel. These are the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which Moses spake unto the children of Israel after they came forth out of Egypt. On this side Jordan, in the valley over against Beth Peor, in the land of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who dwelt at Heshbon, whom Moses and the children of Israel smote, after they were come forth out of Egypt. And they possessed his land and the land of Og, king of Bashan, 2 kings of the Amorites, which were on this side Jordan toward the sun rising, from Aroer, which is by the bank of the river Arnon, even unto Mount Sion, which is Hermon, and all the plain on this side Jordan eastward, even unto the sea of the plain under the springs of Pisgah. Chapter 5. And Moses called all Israel, and said unto them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and judgments which I speak in your ears this day, that he may learn them and keep and do them. Yeah, we're motivated, right, to keep them, to hear them, to keep them and do them. Why? Because we got the land, right? We got victory. We're led out of Egypt. We've seen the plagues of Egypt, and then it didn't fall on us. We were protected, and when they chased us, God opened the Red Sea, and we received great deliverance, and our enemies were drowned in the sea. And yeah, we got to defeat Og, king of Bashan, and we got to continue seeing victory, continue journeying, and nothing can stop us. So yes, you're going to want to follow this God, this great God, and follow his rules and laws. Yeah, okay, this is a mighty God. This is a wise God. If we stay with this God, we can live and have victory. Because there were many that rebelled and said, who is this God? Right? What kind of rules are these? We don't need to follow them. And the earth swallowed them up. Right? The serpents came and bit them. The fire started. The disease came. Oh, okay, so without God, right, I can't fight the fire. I can't fight the snakes. I can't fight the ground opening up below me. I need God. I need this God who's in control of everything. Oh, God is serious. He's not playing. Right? So Moses called all Israel and said, hear the statutes and judgments. Right? Know where the road is, where the bounds are, so you don't fall off the cliff. This is the way to go. Right? God is showing you the way, the road, the bounds. Right? He's your shepherd. Don't go out there. You're going to die. Stay in here. And don't go there. Stay in here. That's wrong. That's evil. Right? That's on this side. That's too much. Right? That's not enough. I want you to do this right here. The Lord our God made a covenant with us in Horeb. The Lord made not this covenant with our fathers, but with us, even us, who are all of us here alive this day. The Lord talked with you face to face in the mount of the midst of the fire. I stood between the Lord and you at that time to show you the word of the Lord, for you were afraid by reason of the fire, and went not up into the mount, saying, I am the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. You shall have none other gods before me. You shall not make you any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. You shall not bow down yourself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. So you hate God, then your children are going to suffer. Right? That's the second generation. And your children's children, the third generation, and their children, the fourth generation. To the third and fourth generation, he's going to visit their sin, their iniquity. You sin, you hate God, you live contrary to God, then you're going to see all the bad things happen. All the bad things happen to your children, your children's children, and their children. So, that's if you sin, right? It's going downstream like that. And you can also understand the things that you're suffering. Oh, where did it come from? You can look upstream. Oh, from what the generation before me did, and their parents, and their parents. So a lot of times you're going to see the curses continue. Right? Who was an alcoholic in your family? Right? Who suffered divorce? Who could not sustain relationships and marriage? Oh, it's happening to you. Right? Who was adulterous? Oh, and it's happening to you. Where you can trace it, you can track it. Oh, look, it passed down. It came down to you. Oh, look, it's in your family. It's coming down the generation. It's repeating. Oh, you had that kind of failure. Oh, they couldn't do business. They kept failing in their business, in their enterprise. Oh, look, it's happening to you. So it's not random. It's not random. It comes from somewhere, from sin. All the problems, it comes from sin. And it can be addressed through God. He's the lawgiver. You can go to God. You can go to Jesus. He can break chains off of you, break sins off of you, break these things that could be slated for you, that could be on your head. He could break that off. He could set you free. Through Jesus, you can live a different life as a new person. He said, your sin will find you out. Jesus said, Moses said, your sin would find you out. It will find you out. So you need to die. You need to get in underwater. Right? If someone's looking for you, you're going to go underwater. Right? Oh, they can't find you. You need to die. Get baptized in water. And then come up. When you come back up, you're a new person. Right? They're still looking for you. Like, he went underwater. Where is he? When you come out, they don't see that person. You're a new person. When you come out of the water, when you're baptized in the water, and you come back out, you live a new life. New life. You can be freed. You can be freed from all the curses that are after you, all the sins that even you might not have committed. They're still coming. They're still after you. They're still, God is visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. To them that hate me. You can be someone that loves God. You can commit yourself to God. God receives that. So that's the mercy of God that's available now to all those that will take that up. Right, that's the next verse. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that takes his name in vain. Keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it, as the Lord your God hath commanded you. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall not do any work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your manservant, nor your maidservant, nor your ox, nor your ass, nor any of your cattle, nor your stranger that is within your gates, that your manservant and your maidservant may rest as well as you. And remember that you were a servant in the land of Egypt, and that the Lord your God brought you out thence through a mighty hand and by a stretched out arm. Therefore the Lord your God commanded you to keep the Sabbath day. Yeah, so this is our rest. Some people, Jesus is now our rest. He's our Sabbath. So we rest in Jesus. In the New Testament, we have an update, right, on the Sabbath. Some people didn't catch the update, and they still want to. So Saturday is a Sabbath day, right, and they still want to keep it, but they don't understand that no, Jesus is our Sabbath. We don't live under this law anymore. There's some laws that we still do keep, but the Sabbath day is not one of them. Jesus is now our Sabbath. We rest in Jesus, not on Saturday. And so you might know some religions, Seventh-day Adventists, they're off. They're off in their doctrine. They still regard that as something that they must do. And so you understand, they're not hearing from God. They're not hearing from God. They missed God. They latched onto that, thinking, oh, we got to do that. And they're not hearing from God when God's saying, no, that's not for you today. That was then. But what is it now? You need to know the times. You need to hear the voice of God. You can't just pick any law in here and say, okay, let's do that. No, but what is it now? What is it now? Right? Yeah, you might read Genesis, see, oh, it's fig leaves. Oh, we should put fig leaves. That's what Adam's doing. Right? But realize, oh no, God gave them more durable clothing. Okay, so we should do that. We should wear animal clothing. That's the right thing to do. Right? You can be off in reading and trying to apply anything in here. Right? Nope, that's not it either. But yeah, you read the history, you read the laws, you read where we came from, you read what God's doing, because what God does, he does again. But how? Right? What time is it now? What's God expecting now? We understand that at our jobs, in our families, in our life, and then anywhere else, right? Oh, that used to be the company policy, but now, right? Oh, we used to do that, right? Dad wanted us to do this, but now that we're this old, he expects this. Right? Now that it's not 1970s, it's 2025. Now we do this. Right? These are the laws in the neighborhood, in the region. So, yeah, people, that's the problem of self-will and stubbornness and pride. They don't hear God. They don't submit themselves, humble themselves to follow God. When God says, okay, come here now, and they say, nope, you said this, it's going to be this, but God might be saying, no, but that's not what I'm saying currently, right now, right? And the pride says, no, but back then you said this, and so this is it. They don't want to follow God, right? Oh, we're good here. We're good here. You said this, we'll park here. No, keep going. Follow me. I'm doing this now. So you got to keep listening, keep following. Verse 16, honor your father and your mother as the Lord your God hath commanded you, that your days may be prolonged and that it may go well with you in the land which the Lord your God gives you. Right? So we have what Jesus said about that too. Now, and in the epistles as well, honor your mother and father in the Lord. What does that mean? And those who are in the faith, who believe. So Yeah, but even in the Old Testament, you have people who, and we might see it here soon, do not give your sons and daughters to marry those that are in the neighboring countries, in other nations, of other cultures, of other people that do not worship this God, this one God, the one God that we know is a mighty God, the true God. Don't let them marry those other people. Don't mix your family with them, because you're going to pick up their gods. You're going to worship false gods. You're damaging yourself. It's like hitting yourself on the head, giving yourself brain damage. You're going to be confused. You're not going to do right. You're going to worship idols that bring curses on you. You're going to worship idols that hear not, see not, smell not, taste not. They're not alive. And yet you're going to seek them for guidance. You're going to ask this stone, this wood thing. You're going to pray to it and get no answers. You're going to be confused. You're going to reap the results of that. Right? Famine and poverty and warfare and disease and deterioration. You're going to lose. You're going to be broken down and cry and suffer. So God doesn't want that for you. He says, do not do that. And same with your parents. If your parents are not in the Lord, if they're of some other nation, the church is a nation. You belong to the church of Jesus Christ, that you're in the body of Jesus Christ. You are part of a new nation. Yeah, Apostle Paul was Roman, but he didn't identify himself as Roman. He used that to grant him access to certain people and places. He used the card, but that was not him. He knew his true identity. The same with you, whether you're American, Canadian, Mexican, Guatemalan, right, Somalian, wherever you're from. You're not of that nationality and country. You are Christian. You are part of the Christian nation. Yeah, so America, they have a pledge of allegiance, right? One nation under God. No, that's not American. You're not American. The one nation under God is Christian. It's Christian. So you have to renounce the pledge that you made to America, because that you're not American. You don't belong to America. You're not the secular identity. That's not primary. You live under that. You acknowledge, okay, whatever it is legally or whatever it is on paper in this temporary life. But you know that's not in God. That's not your true identity. You don't identify with that. You belong to this nation. So even, you're going to obey the laws of the land because God said. And you're going to obey the laws of the land in reference to God. If God agrees, if God also says yes. But if there's any disagreement, if God says, no, not that one, or not this way, or not now, then it's going to be that. It's going to be what God says. So you see Daniel and his friends, that they're able to navigate that. Okay, you can change our names. Okay, you can take us here. You can give us these positions. We'll work for you. We'll serve you. Oh, you want us to worship that God? No. And we'll stop there. Stop there. You want us to eat this food? Can we not? We'd rather not. Please prove us. Right? We're going to show you it's better if we don't. Right? And so, they're able to obey to a certain point. They're able to discern what is God pleased with. This, yes. This, no, not that one. We can't do that. Yeah. And God blesses them. God blesses it. Even Mordecai, he chooses, you know what? I'm not going to bow to this guy. And God protects him. God gives a good response to that. Yeah, no, I'll honor that. You're doing that in reference to God, and it's right. He's got faith to do the right thing. So we do need faith to understand that, to hear God, to obey God and his law, while obeying the laws of the land. Right? You're going to need that kind of subtlety, that kind of faith. to hear God, to know what pleases God, to obey the law and of the land and not obey, and always be obeying God. So you know that Jesus said, who are my family? And he pointed to the people in the room when the messengers came to Jesus and told Jesus, your mother and your father, or your mother and your brethren, they're outside. And he used that opportunity to make a point. Even though his mother does follow Jesus, is a believer, he wanted to use that opportunity as a teaching moment and say, look, these people in front of me, these people that hear me, these people that obey me, that follow me, those in Christ, in the Lord. Okay, guys, these are your family now. This is your family. This is your family. Anyone outside of this, they don't qualify. You don't count them as family. They're not your family. They're not your family. They may have given birth to you, but they're no longer your mom and dad. If they don't follow Jesus Christ, they're not your mom and dad. They're not your family. So, yeah, that's going to bring some clarity and sobriety, right? So, you have also people that wanted to adhere to that, the customs and the respect and the rituals. When they want to follow Jesus, they say, one moment, Jesus, let me bury my dead parents. And Jesus says, why? Right? He doesn't say, yes, that's good to do it. No, he says, you're a follower of Jesus Christ. They're not. There's a division now. There's a division. I come to bring a sword. Right? You know, there's going to be your own mother, your own sister, your own family that's going to betray you. You guys are separated. If they don't join too, if they don't commit to, if they don't run with you to Jesus Christ, they're not with you. They're not of you. They're of a different nation, different country. They're on the other side. Now you're going to labor to bring them in, to evangelize to them, to save them. And you're going to reach out your hand and tell them, you can get on the boat too. You don't have to drown. You don't have to be on that side to receive the wrath of God. I pray you wouldn't. It's my desire that you don't. But I'm not going to join you. You've got to join me. Right? We're on the boat. Right? Come to safety. If they call you to, hey, jump out of the boat. We need help. Jump out. Help us. Jump out. Jump out of the boat for a second. Help your mommy and daddy. You do not jump out of the boat. You don't go. You don't go. You tell them to come. No, you get on the boat. I'm here. This is my country. This is my nation. This is my family. We're here. And I'm telling you, right, you're drowning. Right? You're going to drown. You can't keep that up. You can't keep swimming without being on the boat. You might toss the lifesaver. Grab it. Come on, I'll pull you in. If they don't want to, then you're not going to keep focusing on them. You have to discern too, what are they? Are they receptive? Are they trying to be saved? Or are they continuing in their own ways, saying and trying to convince you? Right? Do they want to evangelize to you about their unbelief? No, you get off the boat. That boat's dangerous. No, it's not. No, it's not. And you got to know. God might say, okay, so now stop talking with them. Because they are not trying to be saved. They're wasting your time. Save these people. You're going to be a fisher of men. You're going to fish the fish that you can fish. Not fish that are not going to bite. That are busy following their lusts and living, chasing after the world. Okay, let them be. They don't want any of this. They don't want salvation. They don't want refuge. They don't want goodness, good days, and a good land. They don't want this inheritance. So stop talking with them. You have no business with them. Your business is to do the Father's business, the will of God, not your own will. You might desire to continue to talk to them. You might really want them, to be saved, to listen. But if they clearly show, no, we don't want any of that, right? Then you don't continue to follow your own will, saying, no, but I want it. No, but I want to save them. This is the work. But if God says that's not the work for you, right? It might be that they can be saved, but it might be not through you. Right? What is the will of God? So we're always mindful of the will of God. What is God saying? What does God want us to do in each and every moment? Jesus tells the guy who wants to bury his mother and father, let the dead bury their dead. Let the dead bury their dead. Let dead people bury the dead people. You have other work to do. You want to follow Christ, and don't regard your mother and father in that way anymore. Do the will of God. Do the will of God. You're facing this direction now. So, your mother and father, do they obey? Did they obey? Did they follow Jesus Christ? It might be hard, right? No, but I've always thought of them in this way. I've always regarded them in my heart this way. And Jesus is calling us to change that, change our views, change your sentiment. Right? Okay, you feel that way about them? Okay, how does God feel about them? Oh, you got to reference God, not just in regards to the law, but in your feelings, in your perspective. How do you see them? How do you think of them? That's got to change. You got to reference God in terms of that. Well, God says this about them. God feels this way. So you've got to align. You've got to agree with God. Let the dead bury the dead. Oh, that's so rude, right? That's so harsh. But that's what Jesus said. Do you agree? Can you continue? Can you follow Jesus? So even when another person says, let me say bye first. Let me say bye. They're not dead. My people, they're still alive. Let me just say bye. And he says, no, you got no time for that. Right? You put your hand to the plow, work, go forward. You got no time to say bye. Who are they to say bye? Right? So he says that to make an example, a pointed example. He's showing us you might want to go back, you might want to stay connected, but is that the will of God, right? And are they obedient to Jesus Christ? If they're not, then there's going to be some questions. There's going to be some considerations, and you might have trouble. It might be difficult for you to understand, to discern that. Okay, what's my situation? Right? You might need leadership. You might need your brothers and sisters in the faith. You might need to go to a church, right? Otherwise, you might not get the necessary counsel that you need to understand what's going on with me, with my life, right, in this relationship. So you need to be someone who's sincere, who follows God, because say you're not connected with the church, pray for a church. You're gonna press into God, and God's gonna show you, lead you. He's gonna make sure that you get to a church, find a church, hear about a church, because He does want you to go to church. Pray for it, and then strive to do it. You need to be connected to the body. Forsake not the assembling of yourselves, and worship God together. So if you don't go to a physical church, do it. Find a healthy church and join the body of Christ. Without that, you may be more prone to maintaining ungodly relationships, and you don't know that you're not supposed to. You don't know which relationships are that you're supposed to continue to have or not. Without good counsel, without good examples, you're going to not know a lot of the law of the Word of God, the will of God for today. What is it? What does it look like? To what standard? To what extent? You're just going to make it up in your own mind. It's going to be according to your own imagination. Well, I think, well, I feel, and who's going to check that? Even our government has checks and balances. Right? One who makes the law, one who interprets the law, one who enforces the law, and they're not all in the same department. They're different. They're going to check on each other. Oh, you wrote that? Well, we think it applies this way here. Right? And then other people, and so that there's not power concentrated in one place where it can be abused. No, there's going to be different departments, different people who are going to check on your work. They're going to check on his work to make sure, okay, so that's not too excessive or too extreme. It doesn't exceed the bounds. And yeah, so that is more functional, right? We continue to have this functioning government that governs the people. And yourself in the church as well, your interpretation of what you're reading here. Yeah, I've seen people, they have the Bible, they read the Bible, and they struggle. They struggle. This guy, he came to me with the same question every day. John, it says, you can't mix the linen and the wool. The linen and the wool, you can't mix it. And I said, that's not the focus, man. You don't need to focus on that. And he said, but the linen and the wool. He just kept perseverating on that. The linen and the wool. Like, yeah, but there's other parts of the Bible. Keep reading. He said, no, but it says here, I'm concerned. The linen and the wool, if I mix it together. But what about polyester? What about polyester? I said, don't mind that. Keep reading. Keep going. What does Jesus say today? He couldn't get past it because he's not part of a church. It's just him and the Bible. And he went off. Right? He can't obey the truth. Right? And so there's a mixture there. It could be also sincerity. Right? Where, yeah, you continue to seek God. The sincere heart, he'll show you, he'll lead you, he'll open your ears to hear, oh, what John is saying. Oh, it's not. He told me to keep reading. Okay, let me keep reading. Right? He's going to open your mind. He's going to give you the mind, give you a right mind, a sound heart. He's going to let you know, a sound mind, pure heart, clean hands. He's going to give you everything you need, right? As you press into God. But without that, then yeah, you're going to stay stuck at some level, at some measure, at some point, not able to progress into the more. You need more, wherever you are. You need to keep going. You need to keep growing. And so, yeah, it's all these things that you need, right? The church, the word, worship, sincerity toward God, commitment, prayer. And who's gonna help you with all that? If you're not going to church, if you don't have brothers and sisters in leadership, that's going to keep you accountable. Yeah, so if you're not sincere, you're not going to want accountability. You're going to do this your own way. Make your own God. Have the same Bible, read the same Bible, and have a different God that you imagined in place of the true and living God. It's going to be something of your own imagination, and you don't want that. You want to serve the true and living God. He spoke, he gave us this written word, and he continues to speak. So you can't just read the word. You need to read and have your ears opened and hear God. And ask God, what do you mean by this? You need God to give you the interpretation. Interpretation belongs to God. So you don't know anything. You cannot understand anything at all without God speaking to you, without you hearing and understanding God. So it says, honor your father and your mother as the Lord your God has commanded you, that your days may be prolonged, and that it may go well with you in the land which the Lord your God gives you. Thou shalt not kill. neither shalt thou commit adultery, neither shalt thou steal, neither shalt thou bear false witness against your neighbor, neither shalt thou desire your neighbor's wife, neither shalt thou covet your neighbor's house, his field, or his manservant, or his maidservant, his ox, or his ass, or anything that is your neighbor's. So, that's interesting, right? That he's listing all that. You would think it's enough to just say, you shall not covet. You shall not covet. Okay, no, but you shall not desire your neighbor's wife. Yeah, how about the house? How about the house? Oh no, not that either. Don't desire that either. How about his field? So yeah, we have kings that are disobeying this, and they fall into much hurt and damage. They curse themselves because they don't know the law. They're not meditating day and night in the law. It said, don't desire his field, because I know if I desire my neighbor's wife, that's wrong. But if I desire his field, that can't be wrong. Right? Yeah, God knows what's going on in your mind and your heart. How many things we covet, how many things we desire. Oh, I can't have that. How about this? It says, no, not the wife, not the house, not the field, not the servant, not the manservant, maidservant, the ox or the ass, or anything that's your neighbor's. Do you get the idea? Right? He's helping us to understand. The fruits of the flesh, he's going to list it. It's like this, right? These things. And the fruits of the Spirit, it's these and such like. Do you get the idea? He's going to help us along. He's going to give us a head start, right? Okay, so these and things like this, right? He's going to give us a list and keep going, right? What else do you think is the fruit of the Spirit? What else do you think is the fruit of the flesh? What are like this? And yeah, it's not an exhaustive list. He doesn't say these things. He says, and such things. There's more. There's more. Can you find it? Can you identify it? Right? Based on these. But he's going to give us a good start. Right? So, yeah, can you hear? Can you hear that? Oh, I think this is like that. I think this belongs to this group. Right? Because there's going to be other things more that you're going to find. Where does it belong? Yeah, exercise, discern. What is this? Oh, this is evil. This is good. This belongs there. Yeah, organize everything in your life. Where does it go? Put things where they belong. Yeah, what shall I not covet? Your neighbor's anything. Right? Because that's our temptation. Well, how about that? No, not that either. Right, so he's going to give us a list. Not your neighbor, not the house, not the field, not the servant, not his stuff, and anything, okay, anything. Do not. He was emphasizing. Yeah, because it's so easy to do, to covet, to look, to be jealous. I don't have that. I want that. Why does he have that? Jealousy, like Cain. Oh, his sacrifice. But my sacrifice, yeah, compare. I hate the guy. I feel behind. Right? Fear of death. I'm going to be left behind. He's got more. He's rich. I'm poor. Yeah, even poverty, that's such a interesting, funny thing. And that islands like Puerto Rico or Cuba or something, they had some kind of life, standard of life, a perception of life. So I hear. And then when they got the television and they started to see the people in the mainland America, and there's this portrayal of life. Right? Oh, look, they have these dance parties, they have these buildings, they have these material, right? This technology. Wow. Oh, life. Oh, they live in, they're like the Jetsons. Oh, wow. They live in this future. They live in just this prosperity and wealth, even though it may not be true. Right? That may not even be the average American. That may be just what they're advertising, right? Buy this for $5.99. Oh, no one can afford that. Yeah, but it's on television. It looks like everyone's buying it. Oh, that's what they're buying these days? They're selling it. That doesn't necessarily mean people have it. But if you don't live there and you just watch their programming, their television, and you get the channel, right? You're going to have this idea. Yeah, people have certain perceptions of America. They think, I hear this from a lot of Chinese people, that they thought America was, because they see the movies are going to show a lot of, and the way they're going to show it, the way they do the storytelling, it makes it look like it's just grand opulence, man. Just life is so good, people, the families, the relationships, everyone's so nice, and the cars are so nice, and the streets are so orderly. No one's honking at each other. Even if they do, it's okay. You got a nice apartment, you got nice tiles, you got nice picket fences, and yeah, oh man, America, so nice. They walk their dogs. Hi, neighbor. Right? It's a utopia. It's a perfect place. And they get enough money to buy a plane ticket. I want to visit America. I want to see the America, USA. It's the top of the world. They're number one. And they come and they want to buy some products, and the people from China, they're like, wait, this is made in China? You guys, all the things are made in China? Why did I come here? Right? And your streets are kind of dirty. Oh, it's not maintained, and people are kind of rude. They don't look at each other. They don't say hi to each other. They don't know each other. They're not friendly. They don't know how to have relationships with each other. What kind of country is this? I thought this was the grand old America. What is this? It's all beat up, and oh, you don't fix your cars after you have an accident. You just drive like that, and yeah, and your buildings are decaying, and no one's fixing it. And wait, this is not what I saw in the movies. It doesn't look like. What? Is this a third world country? First world? What am I seeing? Yeah, maybe you missed the glory days. Maybe it's past. Maybe, yeah. What is it? Right? They're confused. This is not what I saw, what I thought. So they have that experience, right? Coming over, having this idea, right? Because they've seen Hollywood, the Hollywood version. It doesn't exist. Right? The America that they portray is nowhere, because it's in a set. It's in a Hollywood set. It's in a studio, right? They watch Friends. Man, everyone lives like these people. They don't. Right? That's just a story. That's just a set. It doesn't exist. That cafe doesn't exist. The streets, they don't exist. Cheers, right? Where everyone knows your name. No one goes there. It doesn't exist. No, they try to go, say, oh man, this looks depressing. Oh man, let's go try a different bar. Oh man, everyone's depressed here too. This is eerie. This is creepy. Who would want to be in this kind of place? Oh, so it's not real. It's not real. It's just a fantasy, right? And so these people in the islands, they were looking at television in a similar way, right? Back in, I don't know when, maybe the 60s or 50s or 20s, right? And they're watching this television, saying, oh, America, oh, and now they start having this perception, this conception that they're rich. Our neighbor, America, they're rich, and we are poor. We are the poor one. They had no idea that they were poor before. They did not think they were poor. They did not live as poor. But now they look at the stuff they have, and they're like, oh man, we're poor people. They were not. They were rich. Right? They had food. They had clothing. They had everything they needed. And yet now suddenly they classify themselves as poor, as we're poor people. We don't have what we need. How did that just change? Right? Nothing about your material situation changed, but in your mind suddenly, I don't have what I need. You did have everything you need. You were doing well. You were eating. You had family. You had the chickens in the backyard. And but now, no, I don't have the plastic wrapped chicken breast, right, in stacks in a fridge with fluorescent lighting. I don't have that. I can't go to a store where I can just pick that up. If I don't have that, I'm poor. No, they despise what they have. I just have a bark, 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 bark chicken, a live chicken. That makes me poor. And they don't know. In America, they're trying to buy live chickens. They're trying to go back to live chickens. Yeah. Oh no. If you're rich, right? Yeah. It's so backwards. It's so confused. Right? No, rich people have their own chickens. Right? And back in Cuba, they might not know. America, they're trying to do what you're doing. Right? They think you guys are rich. Right? And so, yeah, it's living off of imagery. So yeah, you desire what you see, you desire, and you can't appreciate what you have. You don't have God, and you're not gonna know. Oh, he says, be content with this, with what you have. You have food, you have clothing, you have shelter. You got enough. Jesus, you look for Jesus. Want more of Jesus. That's the only thing you need. Only desire that you should have in your heart. He's going to free you from the other desires that chain you and enslave you. They bring you down. Yeah, you think, oh, if I desire that, then one day I can have that, and then I'll have more because I have that. No, he's going to say, no, that burdens you. Those riches, it's going to steal your attention from God, from serving God. You're going to direct more attention, energy, and focus to your things. Well, that's going to weigh you down. That's going to drag you down. That's going to bring vexation of soul. Read my word, eat my word. I'll explain all this to you, how life works, so that you don't have to go to prison to come back out of prison and say, man, that's prison. No, you don't have to. He'll save you from much suffering and trouble. See, these words the Lord spake unto all your assembly in the mount, out of the midst of the fire, of the cloud, of the thick darkness, with a great voice, right? He's letting you know it's God speaking. This is coming from a supernatural source, the one that is in control of all the water and the fire, all the elements of the world. And the voice is coming out of that. Great power. It's how you live, right? Yeah, you better. Oh, this voice, it knows some things. It's telling you how to live in the world that he created. And he added no more. And he wrote them in the 2 tables of stone and delivered them unto me. Yeah, he wrote it in stone. This is true. You can live by, you can prosper. So seek God today to know his will, to do his will. That's the only way to live and prosper, and to have a stable mind, to not be unstable and unsure and tossed by the wind, tossed like the chaff. Yeah, you have some good seed, good material, edible things. Yeah, you're going to toss it up, or you're going to drop it as the wind blows. The wind carries away all the things you don't care about. It's too light. Right? It's worthless. You can carry that. You can take that wind, and then what isn't taken away by the wind? Oh yeah, you're gonna save that. Oh, this is good. Put this in the barn. We can use this. We can eat this. We can plant this. You want to be that. That's not driven and tossed to and fro by the wind. That's unstable. That doesn't know where is the truth. You want to be one that is saved, that is preserved. Everything else, don't burn that. You can burn all that. That's worthless. God says we'll be worthless if we don't love God and serve him and pursue after him. We'll be like salt that has lost its flavor. Just throw that out. Just let people step on it. I don't care about that. I care about this. My people. My people. And so let that be your desire, to be God's people. Let God be your God. In Jesus' name.